Today's video wasn't really meant to go like this, but today we started the day fairly optimistic about the garden. The weather was meant to be rainy, but with a few dry spells. I went to check on the chickens like I always do every day, and something wasn't right with one of the girls, Elvis. She suddenly became very unwell. Sadly, we had to make a very, very difficult decision. Before we get into today's garden jobs, I just wanted to explain a little bit about what happened with Elvis, one of our original chickens that we had. So we've had Elvis for about 2 years now, and she's about 2.5 years old. She was very, very small when we first got her. She might have been small, but she was definitely the leader, and she was top of the pecking order. This morning, I opened up the coop to let the girls run free into the garden, and all of them ran out like they always do, except for Elvis. She just laid looking a little bit sad, a little bit floppy. So I took her out. She had quite a lot of discharge around the vent area, and it was like a yolky colour, which is not normal. So I decided to give her an Epsom salt bath, as I thought she may be egg bound, and usually 10 to 15 minute soak can sort that. It got worse. After the bath, she was extremely lethargic. She was struggling to stand. She just wasn't herself. She didn't look right at all. We rang one of our friends who actually works with chickens, and he suggested some vitamins or antibiotics, as it could be a viral or bacterial infection. But my gut was telling me something more. So we decided to ring the vets, and we got an appointment at 4 p.m. today. So I went along on my own. I left Adam and the little one at home because I just knew what was going to happen. So the vet explained that basically she wasn't right at all, and it did look like she had liver failure or kidney failure. But they said, yeah, a kidney had essentially failed. She didn't even open her eyes at the vets. She just sort of slumped. They did say that there wasn't really a treatment option, so we made the decision to let her go peacefully. So I said a little goodbye to her. She was one of our original girls, so it has hit us quite hard. I think Adam, he didn't really get upset, but he was quite upset. And I wanted to share with you because, you know, this is the journey. This is the highs and lows of homesteading. And this is the difficult side to keeping animals. So as you can probably understand, didn't really feel like filming much after that. To be fair, it was weird putting the girls to bed earlier and not seeing her there, because she was always the one that would refuse to go into the coop. But we did manage to get a few jobs in the garden. But if anyone's still thinking about getting chickens, please do not let this put you off. They are extremely fun characters to have, and it is just the circle of life, unfortunately. If I did own a farm and had hundreds of chickens, I don't think it would hit me as hard. But because we've only got 5, and obviously Elvis was named, I felt like it's a little bit closer to home. So she wasn't actually named after Elvis Presley, which everyone thinks. She was named after Elvis juice, as in the drink Elvis juice. Little fun fact. So yeah, cheers to you, Elvis. In slightly more positive news, I have started my little experiment with tomato plants. I've got this empty 5 litre container. I have washed it out thoroughly with soap and water, and I'm going to use it to plant a tomato in upside down. What I'm going to do is cut around the top here, plant a tomato plant going downwards, and then maybe plant some lettuce or basil on the top, and I'm going to hang it up and do it as a little experiment and see how it goes. Just cutting around the edges now. So I'm just going to use one of these to cut some holes into it. I've just got some loose bits of wire that I had hanging around, and I've made 2 little holes either side, and I've just slid these through. I'm going to do another one on the other side just so we've got a good bit of strength to it. Now it's nice and sturdy. I'm going to put the tomato plant inside, fill it with some compost, and then probably plant some lettuce on top, or maybe some basil. So I've got a money maker, which I think is a little bit too big to fit in the hole, or I've got honeycomb tomato, which that one should fit through the hole. So I'm just trying to really carefully pull it through. Don't want to damage any of the plant. And we are pretty much in. That was a lot easier than what I thought. I'm going to take the pot off now and then fill it with some compost. I've got a little spot here which I could potentially hang it on. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but it'll do its job. I need to fill it with some compost. Has anybody actually grown tomatoes upside down successfully? Let me know, because I have absolutely no idea if this is genius or a complete waste of time. One thing I've started noticing since getting into gardening is just how much food is actually already growing around us. On last week's video, which you can find here, I mentioned that you can turn elderflowers into a beautiful elderflower cordial. A few months ago, I would have walked straight past this elderflower bush, or not given it a second thought. However, now when I'm walking around, I can smell the distinct smell of elderflower. I'm also looking at other plants too, thinking, oh, I wonder what I can make with that. So apparently elderflowers are best picked on a dry day when they're fully open. Elderflowers generally grow in large flat clusters of tiny little creamy white flowers, and the leaves are often arranged in opposite pairs. So to a large pot I've added the elderflower, which I have cut the stems off, some lemons, some oranges, some ginger, and lots of sugar. I've brought everything to a boil, and now comes the hardest part, which is waiting. Gardening and cooking seems to involve a lot of waiting. Bread, waiting. Vegetables, waiting. Elderflower cordial, more waiting. Next, you want to strain out your mixture, or you can use a colander for this. Just remember to put the colander in before. Oops. Let's try again. Now we'll put the full recipe for this in the description below, and whilst you're there, please click the subscribe button. Corner, and another corner, and this one. So you want to try and drain out as much of that liquid as you can. Oh, yummy. I think the little man approves. Is that nice? Oh, it's quite nice. Quite florally. I prefer it over ice. You can have it warmed up, but it does go perfect with water, lemonade, soda, or even in a little bit of champagne or Prosecco. Next Tuesday's video, we've got a full garden update along with that herb garden. Stick around for that journey. Cheers. And remember to subscribe. You see?